Isang malaking awesome. And thank you so much guys. Maraming salamat sa inyo. And thank you sa mga patuloy na sumusuporta dito sa Asa Chismoso. And ako nga pala si Jose Bear. Wait lang guys ha. Nagpi-feedback ako eh. Ayan. I've been here since 2017. I've been trying to share you guys my wins and losses dito sa cryptocurrency. And please guys, kung bago lang kayo dito, please do like and share, subscribe. And yan, big shoutout sa mga tiga OFW. Parang malimit na OFW na lang nanonood sa atin dito. Okay, big shoutout sa inyo guys. And well appreciated. Kahit konti lang tayo dito. Yan, big shoutout sa inyo. Okay, so ito na. Pag-usapan muna natin to. Wala akong pakialam sa viewers natin. Ganyan talaga. Alam niyo naman, pag bear market, ganyan talaga sila. Okay, anyways, let's do this. So, yung market natin, kung titignan natin, ito yung tinitignan kong move. Okay, so many people are siding nung December 1, iniisip nila na babagsak pa tayo. Okay, so this is sell the news. Kumbaga, inaabangan nila na yung news magsisell pa. Okay, well, it did a little bit. Pero pagsampa nung December 1, okay, huminto yung pag-drop natin. Tapos pumasok yung December 1, umangat siya. So, why am I expecting that it will drop a little bit further? Because meron tayong inaabangan sa November 4 and November 10. Okay, so this is more of like fundamental pati macro. Okay, but the market is down still. Okay, and just last day or 4, okay, last day and 4 hours nakabalik naman na tayo. After this, no, nakabalik, hindi, ito. Tama. Ito, pag drop natin dito, we went back. Okay, then dito, last day and 4 hours, nakabalik naman tayo sa 87. Oh. So, ngayon, meron tayong trade. Okay, meron tayong trade still in a profit. Okay, hindi makalakihan pa. Okay, and this is not accurate because this is API. So, hindi paper trade lang to guys. Okay, huwag kayong mabulag dyan. So, nakalagay 644. So, isipin nyo na lang $60. Ito, parang siguro, ayan, $6. Parang ganun. Okay, so ayan, big shoutout sa inyo guys. Big shoutouts kay Eggsy. Big shoutouts kay Ramil, big shoutouts kay Damon, big shoutouts kay Kyle, and of course, big shoutouts sa ako na nanonood ngayon. Yan, big shoutouts sa lahat ng mga nag-share ngayon. And please do like and share and subscribe. Okay? Then, wait lang, nais ko kasi yung, nagba-buy time lang ako eh. Okay, yan. So, marami tayong pag-uusapan actually. Game, ready na tayo. Okay, marami tayong pag-uusapan. Ito yung mga pag-uusapan natin. Okay, so please, click nyo to, tapos click nyo yung notification bell para una-una kayo sa mga chismis natin dito. Okay, so yan. Guys, we're still, kanina medyo lost na tayo. Okay, so inangat ko na yung stop loss ko kasi confident ako hindi na to may hit ulit. Okay, kasi na-fill na siya eh. So next na is we need to go up. Okay, higher. So but I will partially close around 88. Tapos trail stop lang tayo. Kumbaga stop na tayo dito, then another stop bago mag 89k. Okay, kasi natuto na tayo. Isa pang low para may bullish divergence sa RSI. Minsan kasi hindi ganun yung nangyayari. Okay, so I mean, let's talk about why. Okay, why I think it will not happen for the meantime. Okay, so let me explain to you guys. So nawalan tayo ng 140 billion due to massive ETF outflows. Okay, so alam natin yan guys. Okay, sa mga nagtatrack ng pera, alam nyo dapat yan kasi alam nyo yung narrative natin ngayon. Paulit-ulit ko sinasabi sa inyo, ang narrative natin ngayon ay derivatives. Okay, so if hindi kayo aware na yun yung narrative natin, okay, there's a really big problem with you. Okay, you're just here to trade and you're just here to lose money. Okay, if hindi nyo tinatrack yung narrative natin. Pansinin nyo, sa Facebook, puro derivatives, no? Puro yung mga Pilipino nagtitrade ng derivatives. Do you know how dangerous that is? It's like meme coin. Okay, so lahat nagsusugal ngayon. Okay, nagsusugal to the point because most of them are looking for gurus. Most of them are just starting. Okay, and most of them are starting but has no goal to really learn and to be better. Okay? So, hindi ko sila ginajudge. Okay? The reason why I'm saying this is mas marami ako nakikita ng mga taong nagko-quit after nila mag-derivatives only to go back to spot trade. Okay? Kasi it's always gonna be like that. Meron kang pera ngayon, tapos nawala. Tapos babalik ka. Tapos ngayon, takot ka na, may PTSD ka na. Na hindi naman dapat ganun. No? Lalo na kung derivatives talaga yung gusto mong pasukin. Diba? Doon nagkakaroon ng problema or nagkakaroon ng gap na tinatawag sa derivatives tapos gusto mo mag-crypto. Gets nyo? So, ngayon, let's talk about important things. Okay? So, which is yung Bitcoin ETF bleed record of 3.79 billion in November is the 2022's crypto winter all over again. Yan yung mga question ngayon. Kaya ang daming bear market na news ngayon, guys. Okay, na bear market is confirmed, bear market is being repeated again back in 2022. Okay? Di ba kayo nagtataka na ang daming bad news na nangyari, pero we never had this kind of like crash back in 2022. Okay? So, I'm not praying for one. Okay? But what I'm saying is you have to be vigilant. Okay? So, tulad ng sinabi ko, the US spot Bitcoin or BTC ETF, okay? Alone, nag-draw out sila or so a 3.5 outflow noong November. Okay, hindi ko alam kung magkano yung pinakalas, pero 3.5 billion in total in just November. This is the worst yet, okay, for the whole year. Okay, and I'm not expecting na magkaroon ulit sa December, but marking the highest monthly outflow since February. Okay, so yung February mark a second na after nun nangyari tong November. Okay, and hindi to maliit na changes. Okay, it means they are trying to influence something, and I told you guys na ETF is going to be used for marketing whether it's positive or negative. Okay, hindi lang pan-dry ng liquidity from cryptocurrency pabalik ng traditional, but it is going to be used as well for marketing. Okay, it is going to give signals and market behavior or improve the market behavior for cryptocurrency because of ETF outflows or inflows, and it will be part of on-chain in 10 years. Okay, so ang key question natin dito is, will Bitcoin stop at 80k? Okay, diba nag-stop tayo 80k? Doon na ba yung huling last? Or babalik ba tayo sa 72k? Or could this be just the start of the bull run pushing for another Bitcoin lower or higher? I mean higher. Bitcoin higher. Okay? So probably a little bit lower pa siguro pwede natin masabi. Ito rin yung sinabi ko last time, baka tuksohin tayo sa 70s or 70k or 78k kasi ang dami na miss out doon, no? Pero I think it is already sufficed tulad nung nangyari dun sa 69k before when we were able to suffice it, and it took us really long years from 2022 to 2024 before we really broke it out ng 2024 ng halving. Okay, many people still don't believe me, okay, that it is already sufficed or kumbaga nabayaran na. So we don't have to really think if mabibreak ba siya o hindi. Once we enter a specific level of 72k, it will break out. Yun yung sinabi ko nung time na yun. And we did. Okay, by just reading the price action. No hocus pocus, walang kasalanan daw na kasalanan daw sa pag-drop in between Wintermute at Binance. No, actually Wintermute, okay, pag na-news ang Wintermute, it is already done. The damage has been done. So yesterday, what I was looking at, it's more of like a drama in traditional and banking, okay, and also yun sa China, but it's not like a really big thing, okay. Kung probably it's a big thing yung do sa China, I really think it's because it's a pure manipulation. Tulad na sinabi ko sa inyo, na they will allow news media to break yung name ng China is because China is making a lot of influence again in cryptocurrency, and they don't want to have whether positive or negative na influence tong si China, tapos siya ang magkakaroon ng parang power or upper hand na magde-declare kung ito na yung top market or bottom market. Okay. And ito yung sasabihin ko sa inyo. Proof ko dyan, okay, na banking issue talaga to. Okay, is because the topic revolves around ETF and banking. So CT or CITI or CT, yung Citibank, CT analyst say that that for every Bitcoin, or I mean for every billion withdraw from the Bitcoin ETF, yung price natin or Bitcoin's price natin drops about 3.4%. So ito na yung sinasabi ko sa inyo kanina. And I've been talking about this since last month na ETFs are going to be used for marketing and for wanting to be part of the on-chain data. Okay, and this is not about something na, oh, okay, ano lang to, sentiment, this is just like sell the news, buy the news, etc. Blah, blah, blah. And this is going to be just market behavior, etc. No. They want to be part of the on-chain. Okay, so guys, meron tayong 15 viewers kanina. Mag-like kayo, share, subscribe. Makakatulong yan para mapunta tayo sa mga homepages ng mga taong interesado sa mga ganitong talks. Okay? Ayan. So, ngayon, ito yung sasabihin ko sa inyo. Okay? If that's accurate, ibig sabihin 22 billion lang, or letter B, billion, okay, withdrawals should result to a 77 drop, okay, or 77% drop. Okay, and that's kumbaga marami nag-argue, okay, marami nag-argue na itong math natin, or itong sinabi ko sa inyo na mathematic equation, okay, doesn't tell the full story. Okay? And maybe it's closer to 1.5 for every billion. Pwedeng ganon. Okay, so ibig sabihin, sabihin natin mag-outflow ng 3 billion, sabihin natin. So that's gonna be what? 4.5. Okay? Negative 4.5%. Tapos sisama pa natin yung reaction ng market. So it really depends. Okay? So meron tayong tinatawag na dynamics, hindi lang basta, oh, okay, ganito, kasi ganyan, kasi ganito. Okay, it has to be a lot of reasons. Okay, it's always a domino effect. Okay, so the question is, saan ba talaga nanggagaling yung mga drops natin? So, ayun yung sasabihin ko sa inyo. It is all about macro and on-chain and of course, news. Mapapansin nyo ba pag walang news, walang importanteng news, hindi talaga tayo kumikilos. Ipoproof ko to sa inyo mamaya. Okay? So, type nyo muna sa comment section natin, awesome or number 3. Okay? Yan. So, eto na. Yung market drop natin, or Bitcoin's market drop natin, kumbaga, pag tinignan natin yung market cap, okay, sa market cap tayo tumingin, kahit yung market cap na lang. Okay, ito, total 3 na lang, total 3. Bawas tayo ng total of almost 200-300 billion. Okay? Mula dito. Hindi pala, 200, ano lang pala. 1.8 billion lang. Hindi, actually, 200 nga. 200 billion. Okay? Pero kung sa Bitcoin lang tayo titingin, that's a total of what, how much? 3 trillion, and this could continue for the rest of the year unless something big happens. Okay? Kung may mangyaring, alam mo yun, yung sinasabi ko sa inyo nung dun sa recorded video natin yesterday, what's that magical narrative that will come out wherein everyone will be monetized, everyone can monetize, and everyone, when they enter cryptocurrency, as if they can leave their job and they have this fantasy of not working anymore in their 9 to 5 job. Kumbaga, pag may ganun ng thoughts, okay, that's gonna be the kicker. Okay, yan yung tinatawag na rat wheel or yung hamster wheel. Okay, feeling nila nakakalaya na sila, pero nandun pa rin sila sa loob kasi nakakatakbo na sila. Tingin nila nakakalayo sila. Okay? So, dito na ipapasok yung usapin natin sa fear greed. Okay? Tingnan nyo yung fear greed natin. We've been always staying in the fear. Okay? Extreme fear. We never gone up to ngayon lang pala, kanina 15 pa rin to. So ito, nag-16 na tayo. So is that good? Is that bad? Okay? But still, after we drop to the 90k, okay, we've been experiencing a lot of fear or extreme fear in the market, and which is, I would say, hindi to maganda. Okay? To the point where what if, okay, yun pa lang yung news, nag-extreme fear na tayo. What if may isa pang news? Okay? So, kailangan natin mamanhid. Okay? Kailangan pamanhidin to. Or, we need to go up a little bit. Tapos, isa pang fear para mamanhid tong market na to. Okay? That's how I see it. Okay? So, according to, sabi natin, since 2025, okay, kita naman natin siya, 2025, January, February, March. Okay, we saw that kind of fear. Okay, so we have to do that. Kailangan mamanhid ng market. Kumbaga, eto, nagsawa sila kay Donald Trump, di ba? Na kupal talaga si Donald Trump. Bahala na si Donald Trump. Kahit ako, yun yung sinabi ko, no? Yun yung mali ko eh. Pinagkatiwalaan natin si Donald Trump, yun yung sinabi ko. So, ayoko na, bahala na si Donald Trump. Gagawa ko ng way para makawala dito sa pain na to. Pero, in chart, sabi natin, in price action, sabi natin prices itong tinitingnan natin since nakapeg to sa price. Okay? Pag ganito yung price natin bumabagsak tapos meron tayong parang nagbabounce lang na ganito or tumutulo siya, parang Jack the Ripper yung datingan or yung parang ano niya, yung pattern niya. This is oftenly deemed as resurgence. Okay, hindi ko sinasabing bullish. Okay, magkakaroon ng resurgence. Okay, kasi we tried to resurge nung around November 22, bumalik tayo ng konti. Tapos ngayon binabawi na. So hindi pa nare-record yung December 1. Okay, we'll see what happened there kung aangat siya sa ibabaw ng 16. Pero we'll see. Okay, but this is the most important part. Kahit anong mangyari, I'm not getting out of crypto. I won't let institution market makers scare me out of the market. Yan, that's good. Pero you have to really be careful with what alts are you holding, okay? Kasi katulad ko, laki na exposure ko sa alts eh. Nung nag-drop yung market, I was so hoping for the bull run, an early bull run, okay? For 2025. Pero nasupal palagi tayo. So, very understandable. Okay, doon pa lang, alam ko na whatever the pump market from here, okay, it's going to be bull run talaga. Okay, it's not gonna be like something capitulating, super bearish market, etc. I really don't see it that way. Okay, I still have the on-chains, okay, saying, or macro saying the same thing. Okay, which is mamaya explain ko sa inyo. Okay, so let's go back with this one. Okay, so with the altcoins natin, okay, no altcoin season is active still. Okay, and if we go back with our sentiment here, kita naman siya. We are still staying inside the Bitcoin season. When do you want to start accumulating altcoins? Which is dito. Pag nandito na tayo sa gitna. Okay, which is paparating na tayo sa gitna, we should be looking at a large cap alts or assets in cryptocurrency. Okay, why? It's because that's market behavior. I already saw this many times in Tapos dito din tayo nagbag nung 2024 ng October, September. Okay, napaaga nga tayo ng August dito pa lang kasi may nangyaring dump pa rin ng September. We did not expect that. No one can predict that. Akala ko will just do sideways hanggang sa October will do pump. Okay. So, because of market manipulation and anticipation ng mga retails, nasusupalpal tayo. We are very predictable kumbaga sasabihin ng mga nasa institutional. So, ito na yung sinasabi ko. Okay. Your denial to fear, okay? Yung ayaw mong matakot, okay? Yung wag kang matakot sa panahon ng lahat takot. That's when you will win throughout this season dito sa area na to. Okay, so nasa Bitcoin season tayo, di ba? So we bought Bitcoin at this level. But as we progress here, okay, you will start to see some of the alts trying to resurge, and you will see some of those alts also not able to move. And you will be able to decide or strongly decide already ano nangyayari dito sa alts na to. Madali na siyang i-research. Ano nangyayari? Bakit hindi to nagalaw? Ganun lang yung gagawin mo doon. Nag-lay off ba sila? Nagsara na ba yung project? Wala na ba nangyari? Etc. 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 Okay, so magfo-fall in na yung mga questions doon. Okay, pwede mo tanongin si ChatGPT. Sabihin mo, ano yung next na itatanong ko dapat sa sarili ko pag totoo bang gumagana pa yung itong project na ito? Okay, pwede nyong gawin yun, guys. Okay, may 10 tanong kayo sa isang araw. Okay, or 1,500, ilang words ba yung i-generate? Hindi ko sure eh. So, 10 tanong ata yun pwede mong i-proceed. Tapos sa Messari, meron kayong 5 tanong na pwede nyong i-push doon. So, you need to ask wisely. Okay? So, ito na yung sasabihin ko sa inyo. Next natin. Okay. So, si Jerome nga natin, ito na yung pinaka-main news natin for today. Bibigay ko na agad sa inyo. Hindi siya nagsalita last night. Okay? So last night nagsalita na siya and he said nothing about the policy or the economy, which is really good. Ito yung sasabihin ko sa inyo, which is good. Ito yung prediction din natin. Okay? Nung isa pang araw before yesterday, mas maganda mag-meeting pero walang sasabihin. Diba yun yung sinabi ko sa inyo? Meeting pero walang sasabihin, walang ikukuda, wala siyang ipapayo or wala siya sasabihin na magma-minus tayo or rate cut, surprise rate cut, ayaw nang ganun. Kasi surprise dump or surprise pump din yun, which is not gonna be really good for bears. Magagalit sila lalo, maghahunting tuloy sila ng mga naglulong at i-short nila yung market sa panahon ng kung saan sobrang hopium ng tao doon sa level na yun, which is tayo. When we were entering 93K, I said that there could be a manipulation wherein we can drop drastically back to the lows and to retrace the level of 81, 82, 83K. Okay, that could happen, but we have to also have this positive intuition na we can go back above 86K. Why? It's because there's also a order block there that we need to fill in, or a fair value gap, in order for us to really say that this market is a real price action na talagang, okay, market structure talaga ito na nasusunod, hindi to basta okay, walang manipulation kumbaga. So hindi nasunod, it's clearly manipulation, it's market drama, there is banking drama, there is issue with the micro strategies being insolvent, diba? So, yun yung mga topics natin yesterday. Okay, so right now, dito sa article na to, minabasa ko dito na yung quantitative tightening natin is finished. Okay, we've been predicting this na magkakaroon tayo ng quantitative tightening. So, what happens is Fed stop shrinking their balance. Yes, since yesterday. Okay, pero be mindful. Ano yung tinuro ko sa inyo? Hindi ito ibig sabihin nito na ito na yung katapusan ng na ito na yung simula ng quantitative easing. Iba yon, okay? So yung printers natin, hindi din ibig sabihin noon na mag-on na ulit siya ganun-ganun lang. Hindi yun ganun. Okay, we have to be careful. Okay, we have to be so watchful in the market. This is the time that you need to watch the market really closely. Okay? So ang tingin ko dito is magkakaroon ng dry liquidity one last time. Okay, pero ito yung market prediction na hindi mo mapipredict talaga kung saan tutulo yung market. Okay, so ngayon we are good. Okay, pero in a 1 hour time frame, kita nyo naman, di ba? Okay, may inverted head and shoulder na tayo na buo. Okay, so hanggang saan yan? So kaya ang dami kong may trail stop tayo dito 88, trail stop ulit tayo dito sa 88,900. Isipin nyo yun, that's how careful we are. Okay, so na trigger yung short ko nung kahapon. I was really expecting na babagsak pa siya, no? Ang nangyari, hindi, no? Hindi siya na trigger sa 81,100. Konting-konti na lang actually eh. Dito yung ano natin eh. Yan, nandito yung ano natin, short natin. So, muntik na trigger siya, bumagsak sa kalahati. Okay. Hindi din na-trigger yung partial natin kasi sa 60% yung partial ko. Wala. Yun yung sinasabi ko sa inyo na you have to really be careful. Okay, kasi maraming nangyayari ngayon sa market. Okay, so alam ko, sabihin nyo, sir, also nagtatrabaho ako, hindi ko naman kaya bantayan lahat. Lahat tayo, ganun. Okay? And that's why I'm telling you, you have to really be careful. Do you leverage? Ba't may expose sarili mo sa leverage kung talagang nagtatrabaho ka pala? Okay? Dito papasok yung fundamentals ng pagiging isang trader. Anong kind of trader ka? Okay, yan yung tinuro ko dito sa Meraki first and foremost. Okay, why Meraki is effective for people who are working 9 to 5 jobs, and why spot holding is really be something for almost everyone rather than derivatives. Tapos, di ba? Alam ko, nagigets nyo. So, altcoin season begins once Ethereum goes above 5K. That's what I think. Really depends. Kasi mamaya hindi na sa ganito, guys. Tingnan nyo to. Solana made so much money during when Ethereum was being expected to go above a certain level before a altcoin season to start. Walang nangyaring ano. Okay. Solana for run. Okay, finront niya yung bull run for quite some time before Ethereum was able to catch up for NFT games or NFT lang, not games. So nung P2E, okay, Solana is raging bull. Okay, siya ang pinaka determining factor na okay, bull run na talaga. Hindi natin makita sa Ethereum pero nakita natin sa Solana. Diba? So, something like that. Okay. So, ito na. Explain ko sa inyo. Yung sa ano natin, sa kay Fed share natin, let's just end this topic for do sa Fed, kay Fed. Ang plano ni Trump sa Fed share natin is palitan, diba? So, pinag-usapan na rin natin to, yung kay Kevin Hassett, diba? Lahat nakatingin kay Kevin Hassett. So, pro-crypto din tong guy na to. Pero may dalawa pa akong binanggit sa inyo na potential. But he is expected to get the job at probably 70%, which is too high para sa tatlo lang na naglalaban na talagang pinagbobotohan sa poly market. But yeah, his pro-crypto stance drives the odds in terms of connecting and bridging whoever is in traditional to cryptocurrency, which is to stable coins. Hindi like on risk talaga na boom, bulwakin mo na agad, i-implode mo yung market. Hindi ganoon. Wala siyang ganong thoughts. Okay, so ito yung sasabihin ko sa inyo. The question is, what are the surprises where macro ang mag-start ng altcoin season for the first time? Okay, signaling na this is owned by the cryptocurrency is now at the mercy fully as in buong pagkatao na natin nakasalalay na sa regulation. Okay, kasi ngayon kahit mag-regulate sila, malaking chances na alam mo, ikibit balikat na lang natin ulit. Kasi bakit? Ano yun? Niregulate nila tapos biglang pangit na ulit, wag na ulit, hindi na nila kayang gawin yun. Kumbaga wala na siyang panama or wala na siyang dating, kumbaga. So mamaya may sasabihin pa ako sa inyo. Ito sa kay naman to. Ito malupit din to. Let's talk about AI kasi matagal-tagal na din tayong hindi nag-uusap sa AI eh. This is very important too, okay? I want to tell you guys about the AI role. Okay, so yung AI natin is the market main driver for now. Right now, okay? Why? It's because most of our day-to-day jobs or things that we do every day in the internet are being moved by AI. So kahit ako, pag mayroon akong thoughts na nino-notepad ko, lahat ng mga nababasa kong news etc. nagno-notes ako, ipapakain ko lang kay AI, tapos magko-collaborate kami. Gagawa kami ng document together. Yun yung ibibigay ko sa Meraki. Okay, hindi yung itatype ko lang, sasabihin ko, natamad akong sasabihin ko, kailangan ko mag-submit ng document sa Meraki, ganito. Hindi ganun. So, magbabasa muna ako. Babasahin ko yung white paper, minsan papasadahan ko yung ganito, papasadahan ko yung bago news ngayon, bakit bumagsak yung market, babasahin ko yung mga news, babasahin ko yung macro ngayon, ano yung mga susunod na macro calendars, okay, ano yung economic calendars na kailangan kong bantayan, etc. Doon ko ilalagay yun sa isang notepad, tapos ipapakain ko siya kay AI. So ngayon mag-usap kami. Teka, oy AI, matatapos na yung quantitative tightening. Ano ba yung nangyayari pag ganito? During last quantitative tightening end. Tapos, for the next 2 weeks, ano yung nangyayari? What was the sentiment of the market towards on-risk assets? May mga ganun akong pinapakain na questions. Tapos doon kami magka-come up with. Oh, okay. Gawa natin ng document to. Maganda to. Kasi hindi pwedeng yung kung ano yung nabasa ko sa news, yun na lang di papabasa ko sa inyo. Bakit hindi pa kayo na lang mag-search, di ba? Lugi naman kayo. So, ito na yung sasabihin ko sa inyo, guys. If you look at traditional market, like the S&P, gold or silver or copper or tungsten, etc. Yun yung mga inaalok ko na commodities, diba? Maliban sa S&P, of course, hindi yan kasi commodity. So, gold, silver, copper, and tungsten, mercury. 5. Yun lang yung 5 na tinitignan ko. Na talagang tingin ko nandito, it's gonna stay here. Okay, it's because more esoteric yung gold and yung mercury. Esoteric yan. Then, yung silver and tungsten is more on infrastructure. Copper is both spiritual, esoteric, pati infrastructure kasi ginagamit siya sa agriculture, ginagamit siya sa mga PCB boards, diba? So yun yung dahilan. Okay, but the reason why we're talking about that is lahat yon ng mga pinagsabi ko, sama na natin si S&P, we are seeing a lot of upward move after nag-drop yung market, etc. We are seeing a lot of like resurgence on these assets. Okay, like abnormalities. Okay, abnormality resurgence. Hindi ko alam kung si Russia nagbabay na ulit, si Germany hindi ko alam kasi yun yung mga number 1 commodity buyers na nakikita ko. Okay, so but AI is a real trigger. Yun yung masasabi ko sa inyo. And that's the reason why I was able to see it. Is because AI is like giving those information. So if AI is already giving those information, you should be able to easily already know what type of trader are you, no? So ayan, dito sa document na to, i-explain ko rin sa inyo. Okay, na why AI is a differentiation or what is AI differentiation. So may nakita ko nabubulol ako. May nakita akong video dito which is Mohamed El Erian. Al is in irrational bubble. Okay, pakinggan natin to guys Sabay-sabay natin pakinggan. Wait lang, stop natin music.
One of the things relating to your question is that companies don't just fall in love with the cost minimization of AI that AI produces, so-called labor displacement, but also realize that there's a labor enhancement element to it. And that is a corporate responsibility that some companies, Walmart, Accenture, understand, but most don't as yet. So yes, is there a risk that AI will simply be seen as a way to minimize cost and result in massive displacement? Yes, there is. And if that happens, you will get a backlash. And that backlash can frustrate the upside. The other thing that the Fed will have to deal with, and it's already happening, is what...
Naalala niyo yung sinabi ko sa inyo dati, noong 2023, na if the job numbers are going to be failing and that could spark the bear market in 2025, sinabi ko yun. Diba? So, ibig sabihin, hindi na totoo kasi tapos na yung 2025 this month eh. Pag natapos siya, tapos hindi naman tayo nag-bear market dahil lang dun sa job numbers, etc. But actually, that is one of the key drivers why we really dropped from 120K 110 to 100K. Diba? Job numbers because of the pangit yung job numbers natin starting November and starting November. Bakit? Bakit tayo lalong bumagsak? So we are looking at AI cost minimization. AI could drive solution to that problem, which is cost minimization. Okay, so in companies in the AI space now realize that there is a vertical integration, or there could be a vertical integration and multiple revenue streams in the market, and it really matters. Okay, so that they will be able to really cover other costs in the ano. So ibig sabihin natin ako may business ako na printing ngayon eh. Sabihin natin nagpi-print ako ng mga damit, etc. What happens? Why AI will be able to help me out through this? Okay, so explain ko sa inyo paano. So imbes na mag-hire ako ng nag-e-edit para sa akin ng mga picture para lang ayusin yung ano, etc. Okay? Or sabihin natin technician, sabihin natin na magtuturo or sabihin natin tuturuan ako paano kalikutin yung printer kasi nasira. We can have AI to scan the whole internet or do a long form research na sobrang haba na aabutin ng ilang minutes para i-generate like 30 minutes. Nangyayari yun. To produce me a manual to work on this specific printer. That could happen. So same thing as well with generating images. So nagbe-brainstorm ka, kailangan mo ng ng totoong nagde-design sa mga damit, etc. Hindi ko sinasabing papalitan natin yung designer. Is you will be able to minimize cost of looking or keep on looking for editors, mga graphic artists, 'di ba? You will have the idea already first, 'di ba, with AI, so that you don't have to trial and error already with other Makikita mo na agad, okay, ito yung gusto ni client ko. Sabihin natin, paano ba sabihin? Sabihin natin street art. Okay. So kailangan ko ng streetwear na damit. So ako magbe-brainstorm na ako sa streetwear, etc. with AI. Imbis na doon sa graphic artist which is additional charges, 'di ba? So napaka-importante nitong interview na to, which is walang manonood nito kasi 24 minutes. Katulad na lang nitong video na to, maabot na ng 40 minutes, walang manonood nito, guys. Okay? Pero this is how you will be able to navigate what is the next narrative. Is to expose yourself to these kinds of videos. Okay? Na kung iniisip nyo, short videos pa rin ang malalakas na videos ngayon. No. It is to drive followers and attention. Yes, definitely. But to get value is from long-form videos. Okay? So, now, ito yung sasabihin ko sa inyo. Let's play it again. A little bit pa.
What do you do when GDP growth remains strong, but the labor market is weak? How do you respond to that? Normally, these two things are very highly correlated. But in the last few months...
Labor market, job numbers, etc., blah, 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 unemployment number, etc. How do you resolve that? Diba? Sabihin natin, sige, bulagin na lang natin yung diba? Probably the reason why because malakis yung natin, yung unemployment numbers natin, etc., is because no one wants to really work already. Because they found to break the system. They break the system by just doing a side hustle, side work, side jobs, off the hook, di ba? Which is nangyayari yun. Window cleaning, di ba? Home renovation, nangyayari yun. Okay? As long as you give a strong promise, etc. Tapos yung iba, nagbe-bet on dun sa no insurance na lang. Kasi sabi ni Tropa, magaling talaga to na na home renovator. Wala pa namang kaso-kaso sa ganun eh. Di ba? Huwag ka lang talaga, tatanggap ng gig. Sabi natin, ikaw, home renovator ka. Huwag ka tatanggap ng siraulo na kung saan mo lang nakuha na client. Siyempre, tatanggap ka sa tao na inalok sa'yo. Kunyari, ako, tropa mo, alokin ko sa'yo. Ay, pre. Diba? Magaling, may client, baka baging client mo to. Mabait tong taong to. Kaibigan ko na to for 5 years. Sabi natin gano'n. Nakatrabaho ko to sa Saudi, sabi natin. Tapos uwi siya sa Pilipinas, kailangan ng home renovator. Magpapatayo ng gate. Oh, di ba? Iba dyan, may kilala akong ganyan. Naggagawa siya ng mga gate, nagtatayo siya ng gate. Wala yung company. Hindi niya nga alam paano magtayo ng company. Tutulungan ko pa nga sana yan eh. Nagtanong pa siya sa akin eh. Kasi ang laki na nung income niya. Ang ginagawa niya, nagsishare sila ng kapatid niya sa credit card. 'Di ba? So yung kita niya humahalo sa ibang business ng iba, which is hindi rin registered business. I guess yo. So why this is very important with AI? Okay? Is because AI will be able to really navigate yung mga hindi para to replace us, is to really navigate what is the demand right now by people and why the numbers for labor is down. So makikita din ng AI na yan by just reading the whole statistics na most of them are carpenters right now and off the hook. they're doing a side job, tapos meron silang job na ganito para makakuha ng pensyon sa government because they are low income. They are low income employees or working class. Magigets niya. So, yun yung gusto i-resolve ng AI eh. Hindi lang basta doon sa sinabi niya, pero it's really good as well. Hindi lang just to really scare you guys na papalitan na kayo, kung sabi copywriter kayo. You need to up your game. Marketing. Ano ba yung something na hindi kaya ni AI sa marketing? Diba? Which is yung intrinsic designing ng mga marketing na magiging effective. Kasi what does the AI do? It generates what has been working or generates what has been done. And ina-annex lang niya, kinukuha lang niya dun sa pool ng information niya na nasa controlled environment. Diba? So ngayon,
how did you see a gap between the two? Growth in the 3% area and people really worried about a weakening labor market.
And then there's the stock market. What about that? Is the stock market in a bubble? I've heard you talking about a rational bubble, which is something that's real, but the prices are too high. Is that right?
So AI is in a rational bubble. And what do I mean by a rational bubble? That if you analyze it in terms of incentives, whether you are working on AI or whether you're investing in AI, it makes sense to overinvest in it, to overspend in it, because the payoff is enormous.
Okay. So, pa-clean lang natin. Medyo mahaba to guys, pero sobrang ganda nito. Panoorin nyo na lang, kasi 20 minutes lang naman eh. Bigyan nyo ng 20 minutes lang, fast forward nyo, katulad ng ginagawa nyo sa video ko, diba? Ano man ginagawa nyo sa video ko eh. Alam ko naman yan. Nakikita ko siya dito sa statistics ko. So, let me explain to you guys. So, si El Erian, okay, warns that the Federal Reserve needs to be reformed, which is at the middle of this video. Okay, it needs to be reformed. Why? Because the Fed has been passive. Okay, it's playing safe and it is trying to be political. Same thing what the Donald Trump said, but not in that manner niya sinabi. Okay, and it is time for more attention to the supply side of the economy. There is so much money in the market where it is just sitting there and it is not generating real profit or kickback or pabalik sa kanila. So, no one benefits, not even Israel, not even United States, not even the investors of United States who buys the bonds or who buys the debt. Okay? So, people are so fixated on interest rate cuts. Okay? Ewan kung bakit. Okay? Because that is the easiest thing to understand. So, I'm giving you another gist of idea na matututo kayo pagkatapos ng live na to. So, if people are fixated dun sa idea ng interest rate cuts at iniisip nyo, bullish yan pag nag-interest rate cuts. Ito ngayon, bakit umaangat yung market nang wala naman sinabi si Jerome Powell yesterday? He was just there to confirm, okay. It's we are ending QT from here. Diba? Sobrang vague. Ganun lang. Okay? And who will be the next Fed chair? Okay, yan yung gusto nating pag-usapan after nun eh. Halata mong, alam mo, wag ka na, parang, alam mo, Jerome Powell, pinakamaganda mong gawin, wag ka na magsalita, bumaba ka na lang sa position mo, wag ka magsasalita ng kahit ano hanggang sa huling meeting. Okay, parang ganun siguro yung binigay sa kanya eh. Okay, but the real issue is how the Fed will handle supply side factors. Ayan yung i-research nyo guys. Okay, kasi ako, nahihirapan din ako. So, research nyo, Fed handles supply side factors. This is very important. It's really going to be something that you will gain so much from this channel. Research how the Fed will handle supply side factors. Okay? You have to understand this, guys. Okay? Hindi lang basta Fed rate cut o hindi, mag-expand sila ng nila, ng balance sheet nila, i-shrink na nila. Hindi na yun. Wala na doon in play. Okay? Because the next Fed chair is all about compliance already. It will comply to what? To Donald Trump. Okay? Kung Saudi nga, napaluhod nila eh. Diba, yun nga nagbaback up ng US dollar. So, the compliance culture needs to be improved. Okay, so that's the resolution to that. And for our last topic, okay, just to give you guys, eto, yung launch natin of Gemini 3 mark a shift. Okay, so this is all about AI still. We're almost done. Okay, I just want to show you this, guys. It showed that only companies with certain attributes will succeed in the AI arms race. Okay, pinakamaraming microchip, pinakamaraming data centers, whatever that has to relate with AI powerhouse. Okay, the focus is on sustainable funding. Okay, are companies generating revenue or relying on circular financing? Okay, hindi na uso kasi yung papaikutin lang yung pera, cash flow, hindi. We need to create money out of thin air. That's the new goal. Okay, it's like harnessing the fifth the fifth element na tinatawag. Baga dito na rin may introduce yung cheap energy because it doesn't matter already na nagbabayad tayo ng malaking kuryente. Kasi bakit? Kailangan natin matuto mag-invest. Yun yung nakikita ng government. And the government of the United States is already pushing that narrative. They're ending the Obamacare. Why? It's because they want every American citizen and American to be an entrepreneur. If Japanese were bred to be kind, be responsible, etc., US are bred to be great, okay? And they have to be entrepreneurs themselves, feeding off to each other, okay? So, in a point, okay, if they can consume, they must be able to create something out of that consumption. Okay, which is a really powerful talk yung ginawa ni Gemini. But others, sabihin ko sa inyo, this is a sign of caution in the market that's been too focused on hype. Okay, kasi ang nangyayari sa market natin, gusto natin 10x, 5x, etc. We don't even look at what's gonna be the next narrative. What's gonna be that generating what's gonna be that generating revenue instead of circulating finance lang ba to? Like parang sinasasabi kasi market rotation. Okay, ayaw na natin nun. Gusto natin new money coming into cryptocurrency, not just because of RWA, not just because of AI. We don't care about that anymore. Okay, and last news natin, guys, malupit to. Okay, si Japan yung Japan natin, or anong trabaho ni Japan? Okay, sa bagong kamay ng Iron Lady daw kuno. Okay, so Japan's 10-year government bond yield hit 1.8%, the highest since 2008, and this is the huge shift. Okay, so si Japan natin is still at the mercy of the US. Okay, so once the anchor of global finance with zero rates and unlimited liquidity, itong Japan, hindi na siya ganong kalakas. Yan sasabihin ko sa inyo. It's already breaking. It's losing its power.
And Rick, this really sent reverberations globally. People say it's why Bitcoin's down today.
It may, indeed it may. And we're going to get to the Japanese side at the end of this because I have some interesting charts.
Okay. Nagagets niya? Diba si FTX, FTT, diba dati dito daw sila nagbaborrow ng pera, papakita nila na meron silang dito, asset, etc. Kumbaga, bebenta nila yung Bitcoin dito sa Japan, marami silang yen. Ngayon, baborrow again sila dun sa yen na yun, na meron sila para makapangutang sila ng mas malaking pera, ay ng another pera out of thin air, tapos yun yung ibibili pa nila ng Bitcoin. Nagagets nyo? Parang ganun yung nangyayari. So, ngayon wala na. Kasi, bakit? May interest na tayo eh.
Let's start at the chronological beginning coming into our time zone. As you look at 2s and 10s for 1 week, they popped out of their recent range. They popped through that ceiling. Basically just under 3.5 for a 2-year, right around 404 for a 10-year. And it happened along with all the other issues going on globally.
Okay, so I still believe that the market got pushed down a little bit further down because of Japan. Okay? Because of this Japan news. So, yung nangyari, ay, patingnan natin to. Yan. So, meron tayo tinatawag na reverse carry trade. Okay? So, si Japan holds 1.1 trillion of US Treasury securities. This is very dangerous. Okay? Sabi natin mawalan ng value yung US dollar. What will happen to Japan? Okay. As the Bank of Japan raises rates at the US Federal Reserve ends QT, this creates tension. Okay? This is very dangerous, guys. Okay? So, ito yung something na talagang mag-agree ako na pag ito mag-push through, this is gonna be dangerous. Yan ang sasabihin ko sa inyo. This is not really gonna be great for cryptocurrency, for risk on assets, because this happened before already. We talked about this back in 2023 that market capitulated a little bit just because of Japan deciding to have interest on their borrowed assets. I mean borrowed money. If you borrow money from Japan, meron ng interest. Okay? So, what's the impact on global markets? Okay? When yung creditors natin, or like nations like Japan, stop funding debtor, like nations like US, hindi na sila nag-aalaw na, makakautang mo yung US, etc. Hindi na. Sabihin nila. Okay? The entire post-2008 financial system must be revalued. Okay? Pwede natin tignan ulit yung times na yun. Okay? So, this time or shift na nangyayari could pressure global markets, including crypto space, to rethink, okay, yung nangyayari. Kasi isipin nyo, di ba dati point something lang yung interest, nagkaroon na ng interest. So, kailangan nang bumalik yung pera sa Japan. Kailangan nilang tapusin yung pag-utang-utang nila. Di ba? We have to really understand that na dati libre lang umutang dito eh. Umutang ka lang, libre lang. Kung kumbaga, may pera sila sa hindi, sige, bahala na. Nandiyan lang yung pera, etc. Lang. From baba ng balik. Di ba? Pero, pag bumiram ka, wala kang interest. Sobrang baba. Ngayon, tumaas. Nagkaroon yung tinatawag ng interest shock. Okay? So, yun yung 2023. Ngayon, paano kung tumaas ulit? At this wrong timing of the market. Diba? Na nag-end pa lang si QT. Wala pa kang QE, hindi pa nga declared yung QE. So baka malin lang tayo, alam niyo yun? Baka di ginagawa lang to mga news na to so that we will not be prepared for the stealth QE. Yan yung pinipredict ko magkakaroon ng stealth QE na mangyayari sa market natin. At hindi niya i-expect kailan. Okay, which is yun yung master plan. So, what will happen for Bitcoin and the Fed? So, in July 2024, the Fed cut rates while Japan raised them. Okay? Leading to an unwind of the carry trade. Okay, ang laki ng carry trade na sa Japan. So, hindi nila alam ang gagawin nila doon sa 1 trillion mahigit na yun. So, Bitcoin hit a new low during this time. Okay? With a similar pressure looming in December. Yan yung sabi dito sa document. So, yung Bitcoin natin, pwede silang humarap sa volatility. More volatility. Which is really good for me. Because this is going to be an opportunity for us to re-evaluate where will be the next bottom. Or kung may bottom pa ba? Or meron pa bang top? Okay? Kasi pag namamatay yung market, nagsa-sideways tapos wala nang gusto mag-trade saglit. Okay, the only way to go there is down. Yun nakikita ko. So we need to have volatility. Okay? So, mas madali kasing i-short yung market tapos magsisell ka eh. Kumbaga, meron kang tinatawag na complacency na nasa iyo yung US dollars. Diba? So, how I see, okay, it is that, kumbaga, how I see this is the Fed might pause its rate hikes to avoid yung paglala ng global tension. Okay? But the big question is how these shifts will play out globally. Okay, kasi paano kung hindi na sumunod si Japan, US? Pero imposible. Kasi kakasali lang sa Freemason ni Sanae. Diba? May ritual nga sila nung kailan. So kinamayan na siya sa ilalim ng ng tinatawag na the podium ng Freemasons. So Freemason na siya. So imposible hindi siya susunod sa script na gusto ng nasa pinakataas. So from here guys, kayo ang tingin nyo. Ako tingin ko this is going to do still this way na malakas yung mga moves, pero it's going to be capitulating for alts. Okay, and dangerous for traders. Lalo na kung hindi mo mahanap yung pinaka-top, pinaka-bottom, lalo na kung maraming yugyugan bago siya talagang surpass to 94. Pero one thing I can guarantee you, once na binalikan natin yung 100k pataas, hindi ito babalik sa 100k. Okay, matatagalan na to. Okay, or probably the next drop will be until 126 na lang kung dumiretso tayo ng 200k. Yun yung nakikita ko. Okay, so right now if you're still like wishing for another bottom 60k, 50k, 40k, nako, you're dreaming too high right now, or too low rather, not too high, too low. Ayan, so rethink guys. Okay, so yun lang guys, have a great night, and chismis lang ang lahat ng yan. Kailangan nyo pa rin aralin, planuin, at kilusan ng sa gayon. Ang lahat ng to ay ating makamtan. At syempre, stay awesome. Goodbye guys. Thank you so much and have a great night, and stay awesome guys. And please, God be the glory guys. Yan, thank you so much. Shalom sa inyong lahat. Big shoutouts sa asawa ko, and of course, big shoutouts kay Yahuwah. Good night.